lot of what we're doing is going toward individuals who are looking to market, grow their brand, get their name out there. Tell everybody a little bit about how IConnect Now can help them do that.
We founded IConnect Now, realizing that as a business, it could be very expensive or very difficult to find a way to get maximum exposure for your business. How can you build a brand affordably? We partnered with some high traffic businesses in the area. We provide them with digital signage throughout their establishment. And in return, we get some time on those screens that we can sell very affordably to local business owners that are looking to build that brand awareness. There's so much clutter in today's world and in any industry. If you go online, you're inundated with so many different choices. And what we're going to do is kind of cut through that. If they see 10 when they go online to look for a local plumber or painter, but they recognize one, statistically, you're a lot more likely to go with that one. It is a very affordable way. It actually breaks down to less than 2 cents a play to get that brand in front of thousands of consumers.
Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. What is happening, everybody? Happy Thursday and happy day after Christmas. And you're probably wondering, why do I have this intense mask on my face? Oh, you might want to turn down Facebook. Whoever's watching Facebook, I'm getting some major feedback. So anyways, everyone's probably wondering, why in the world do I have this on my face? Well, the reason being is that I was actually a part of our masquerade ball. And this was one of the pieces that we wore, and we were able to raise some cash for anyone who was a victim of human trafficking. So it was an amazing cause. We were fighting against, of course, human trafficking. We were helping the girls get back into society. I'll let Don talk more on that, but without further ado, wow, that was it was tough to get off. Without further ado, ladies and gents, I'm going to introduce you guys to Don DiFranco. Don is owner and founder of IConnect, and Don is also actually helped start Events for a Cause. So Don, for everyone who doesn't know you, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Hello. Well, again, thanks for having me on today. As you said, my name is Don DiFranco. I am the founder of co-founder of Events for a Cause, and the founder and CEO of IConnect Now. Which of those did you want me to kind of go into first?
Tell us about IConnect Now, since I've got you on here, because this is so a lot of what we're doing is going towards individuals who are looking to market, grow their brand, get their name out there. Tell everybody a little bit about how IConnect Now can help them do that.
All right. Well, we founded IConnect Now, realizing that as a business, it could be very expensive or very difficult to find a way to get maximum exposure for your business. Again, you don't want to be the best kept secret out there. So, how can you build a brand affordably? So what we did is we partnered with some high traffic businesses in the area. We provide them with digital signage throughout their establishment. And in return, we get some time on those screens that we can sell very affordably to local business owners that are looking to build that brand awareness.
I love it. So for everybody that has not seen it, they're napkin caddies. And basically, and I wonder if I can, let's see if I can do this really quick. I want to share my desktop. Oh, see, you know what? Share screen. Yeah, no, I'm not going to go there. Okay. We don't want to break anything. So these, but basically what it is, they are napkin caddies. And inside of the napkin caddies, you have the promotion of local businesses that are basically flashing across the screen. Those local businesses are the ones that are highlighted, and they pay for spots. And then, of course, they're able to go into very high traffic local areas like local restaurants, taverns. But the great thing about it is that you are able to become a talking point of everyone. And of course, if they see you, I mean, and I know, Donnie, if you recall, there were some stats on branding. Maybe you could share everyone a little bit as far as getting your image seen out there.
Absolutely. So 95% of consumers statistically are more likely to go with a brand they recognize. It's the comfort factor in there, and statistically, they're more likely to even spend more money because they recognize that brand. So it's very important. Our machines aren't gonna. It's obviously it's kind of comparable to a billboard. It's not going to sell your whole product, but it is going to create that awareness so people are at least comfortable knowing that they've heard of your business. And you can put call to actions on there as well. Promo codes, things like that. But it is a very affordable way. It actually breaks down to less than 2 cents a play to get that brand in front of thousands of consumers.
I love it. I love it. Well, so for everyone that's tuning in, you can, of course, go and reach out to Don. Don is all over. He's on Facebook, but you can also go to IConnect Now's Facebook page. If you're watching, like the page. And Don, are there plans in the works to expand it outside of our local marketplace?
Yes, we're currently we have 10 locations in the Cleveland market. We're branching out into the Akron market. And then within the next 6 months, we're already tiering a plan to get in the state of Ohio and keep going on that point.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. Cool. Well, so we've got a pretty big event coming up here. And by the way, for everyone who doesn't know, Stephanie and myself and Don, of course, who Don has, basically started Events for a Cause and will help co-start it. Don, what was the reasoning that made you decide to start Events for a Cause? Like what got you excited about it?
Well, to be honest, I've always liked being involved in charitable causes. One thing I recognize is not all charities give a big portion of the revenue that they've generated. So the first thing that we did is we actually looked for nonprofits in the area that don't keep the revenue, that either all or a majority of the revenue they raise goes back into the community. So for instance, the event you were wearing the mask for was the Masquerade Ball. We threw a ball right at Michaud's Party Center in Strongsville. It was a great time, and all revenue went to the Lioness Foundation. And the Lioness Foundation, what they do, as you've previously stated, is all revenue they raise goes to help out victims of human trafficking. And they don't keep any of it. 100% of all proceeds that they raise goes to their incredible cause. So learning more about their organization, it was just something we wanted to get behind. So what Events for a Cause does in summer is we try to do 2 to 3 major events per year to get behind a bigger cause. We're involved in a lot of smaller ones. One that is now going to be an annual event, just because of the feedback we've gotten, is the Prom event that we do every February. That event benefits the Josette Bedell Memorial Foundation. There's an incredible woman behind that foundation. She unfortunately lost her mother at the age of 18 to breast cancer. So what that foundation does is it helps women in Ohio battling breast cancer. And again, she doesn't keep a dollar of the revenue. 100% of those proceeds go back into helping women. And it's everything from just sending them flowers at the hospital to helping with medical bills to helping with personal bills. So an incredible cause. If anyone watching gets a chance, I highly recommend you check out those 2 foundations. Again, it's the Lioness Foundation.org and then the Josette Memorial Foundation as well.
And just as an all-encompassing, I put the Events for a Cause second Prom do-over page, just because I believe that covers everything. So that'll cover at least supporting for this time. It's Josette the oh my God, the Josette Bedell Memorial Foundation. That is like a tongue twister trying to say it all at once. Awesome. So let me ask Kristen. I'm going to ask Kristen a personal question because she's used to this sort of thing. Kristen, did you go to your senior prom?
Yes.
You did.
Yes,
okay.
I did.
Don, did you go to your senior prom?
I did. But it's a great question to ask.
Wow.
I can't believe how many people have messaged us saying they've never gone to prom, or that, hey, I've gone to prom, but I could definitely use a do-over. So this is a great opportunity. The event is a great call. It's a great.
I hated my date, so I went, but it wasn't stellar.
It had to suffer through it, right? We have 3 photo stations. You can actually at the event get prom photos taken at the station. So it's a legitimate do-over. We have the dancing, but this time around it is an open bar event, so get to do a little drinking, little dancing. It's a great time. A lot of good people involved.
I love it. No more having to secretly spike the punch. So that's good. It's real good.
Bartles Jaymes in my day. That shows you how it was 1986. It was Bartles and Jaymes. That's what, or 1988. Bartles and Jaymes, big time. You heard it here.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I didn't go. So I went to my wife's prom. I went to Stephanie's prom, but I did not go to my own. So, I mean, I always look back and I said, man, I go, granted, I made my prom, so I felt great about it after I went to her prom. I didn't make my own. So if I didn't make my own prom, I'm sitting there like, okay, well, at least I made a prom. This is a great way, though. I mean, it is very much so. It's very much so like the prom. I mean, you guys did an amazing job just, reenacting it. And we didn't get on the committee until after the prom do-over, but I was so motivated and moved by by everything that you guys did, and it was just, I wanted to figure out how to get involved. So that was an amazing event. As far as the whole, just where you feel like there's a big opportunity in this marketplace, Don, I mean, with where we're at as far as the event goes now, I mean, how many tickets that first off are available? How many are left? Do you have a ballpark? I mean, how many are sold out? Because I know we sell out on this pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know we sold over half the tickets already. I believe VIP tables, we were limited to 10, and we only have 3 of those available, I know for sure. But yeah, I mean, the event typically well, we've done it once. We sold out right away. This one's on pace to sell out. So if you're interested, yes, we have great giveaways. We get 20 gift baskets that we raffle off. Each of those are a $300 value or higher. We do a random raffle for a prom king and queen. They get a gift basket as well. Photo booth, photo station, dancing, and it's a great time.
That's awesome. And so what does a ticket normally run, or what does a group of tickets normally run? So for anyone that's watching locally that wants to get involved.
Well, tickets include your dinner for the night, and all drinks are included. A single ticket is $80, a couple is $150, and then a VIP table is $1,000, which includes 10 tickets, a reserve table, a couple bottles of champagne, and it includes a donation onto our charity board as well.
That's a heck of a deal for all that you get. I mean, and I remember when we went, it was, I mean, we had so much food, we had so many drinks, but it was an awesome time. And you raised a lot of money too towards a good cause. I mean, I want to say, I mean, Donnie, if you don't mind sharing, I mean, I want to say, I remember you hoisting a check up for, I think it was like $6,000 or $7,000 or something. I can't remember the exact number.
We raised close to $10,000, and it was our first time around. So
wow,
learning and a lot of probably expenses. Not probably. There's a lot of expenses I can eliminate this time around. Also a lot of costs. Like we bought a red carpet, stuff like that we won't have to do this time around. So yeah, it was a great event, and we're able to help out an amazing cause as well.
That's awesome. Wow. Well, so as far as kind of taking a step back and looking at IConnect Now, what would you say? I mean, for someone, so for example, someone who's a realtor, because I know you have a lot of real estate agents that are your, primary focus, and even mortgage loan officers I've seen as well. What does that look like as far as, their business and how it helps them sort of get a little bit more reacclimated in terms of being the go-to brand? I mean, what kind of feedback have you gotten?
Well, that's a great question. One of the things I think that most, especially in the real estate world, but most of our customers like, is the fact that the ads you can place, because they're digital, you can change it at any time. So as a realtor, for instance, let's say you got a house in Westlake and you're running an ad there. If you're having an open house on Sunday, you could actually customize an ad that says, come in, see our open house on Sunday. And then as soon as Sunday comes and goes, you can change that to a different property you're listing, price reduced or just listed, or anything you want. The way our system works is you get 4 plays every hour. So every 15 minutes, an ad's going to come up, and you can use different ones. So again, as a realtor or loan officer, if you wanted to feature 4 properties that you're involved in, you could actually have a different one come up every 15 minutes in that. And then with a 48-hour notice, you can change them pretty much at any time.
Wow, that's awesome. So how are you able to?
I'm sorry.
Are they video? Sorry, are they video or is it just static pictures?
Another great question. Either. So we can do a still image, but a lot of the realtors will do a virtual tour, and that can be a video or that could be a slideshow of the property, which is typically that's what we'll get from the real estate professionals. It'll be a slideshow kind of featuring the property. There is no sound though. That's the only, because there it is. Some of that restaurants and stuff like that, we tier it. And what I mean by tiering it is it'll play at the table you're at right now, but 2 minutes later, the table next to you is going to play it. So the patrons actually will see your brand several times as they're sitting there throughout that establishment.
It's funny because there were a couple of real estate companies I noticed that were on there, and I kept on seeing them, and I'm like, man, I remember this logo, I remember this brand, and it was just it was happening in real time. We went to I believe it's Avon Lake Mulligan's, and we went there to basically take a look, see how things were going, see how you had it up there, take a video of it to share it up on your page so that people could actually see the live video going. And there were about 4 or 5 agents that we personally knew, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And they were all playing all around, and you could tell people were like, even though it didn't necessarily affect the flow of their day, they were eating, but like they'd look up and they would see a brand. And even when we were there eating, I'm like, this is amazing. I mean, because you just see it and it's just real time in front of you, but it's not intrusive. So like it plants that seed of suggestion in your mind, like, oh yeah, this is a brand that I know. And maybe you don't buy it right then and there. You don't, reach out to the person right then and there. But the fact of the matter is that you are staying top of mind. And I mean, for pennies on the dollar, I mean, we've hired Facebook coaches and marketing experts and all kinds of people to learn how to actively market effectively on Facebook. And even for what you're doing, there's no way to get that hyper local and that targeted and do it for under the cost. So that's
like quick funny story for you. I was at a real estate mixer about 2 weeks ago, and I was introduced to a gentleman through a mutual friend, and he's like, man, I know your face somewhere. And then he asked what I did. We were actually at a location that did have my machine. So I said, oh, this is what we do. And he said, are you at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, which we are. And I have my face is on a couple of the images because we're showing people how you can, interact with consumers, things like that. But long story short, he actually knew my face from seeing it on our machines. And he's like, that's how I know you. I've actually seen you in those machines. So kind of a testament, though, to how brand awareness worked, because he couldn't place how he knew me until I brought up the machines. And he's like, oh, yeah, I've actually seen that image before.
And it makes you bring up such a good point, and it makes such a difference when someone knows who you are, even though they might not remember where they've seen you, or they may not remember how they've gone about working with you. And it's funny because even so for example, I'll give the story about my insurance agent. When I was with my health insurance, this was maybe 5-6 years ago. I remember on my way to work every day, I would see this guy's billboard, and I didn't really ever pay any mind to what it was. I'd keep driving and didn't think much of it. And then all of a sudden one day I saw him on I think I saw him on Facebook as well. And then I had put some information up on a website. And so I saw him in a couple of different places. And I'm like, I don't know why this guy's name sounds so familiar. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, I was like, oh, you're the billboard guy. And a lot of real estate agents pay a ton of money for billboards. Donnie, if you would kind of tell everybody a little bit, what's the difference between what you have and a billboard? And I think that's a really impactful question. And I think that the answer to this is going to help a lot of people see where the future is going.
Sure. So the number one, the biggest difference I feel is the price point. We try to stay very affordable. Yeah. That was a big part of our business plan. We have packages as low as $150 a month. And you can get an additional discount to that if you're part of a chamber of commerce, which you can ask me about as well. Where a billboard's a lot more cost heavy in those scenarios. Again, with us, you're sitting in front of the image. You can comprehend it a little bit easier, in my opinion, than a billboard that you're driving, 50, 60 miles an hour. Some people 70 miles an hour down the freeway. Right. So it's just a little easier to kind of comprehend and wrap your mind around that brand when it's static and it's right there for you.
Stephanie,
sorry, to my knowledge, I don't think you have the customization in the billboard industry. The research I've done, you can change your ad, but it has to be monthly. With us, you could, in theory, you could have a different ad ready to play every single day if you choose to. So with us, you have the customization of doing, hey, Donnie, I want this ad to run on Mondays because I have a different special, or I want, 1 week to run this ad, then I want to switch it to a different one. So you can split test with us a little bit, and you get a lot more flexibility with a much more aggressive price point with our product.
I love it. Well, and I think the biggest thing too is the fact that when I was looking into the cost of billboards and things like that, just to have different avenues for marketing. I mean, it's $1,000 a month for billboards, and that was in like not even high. I mean, some of the areas weren't even high traffic. So I could only imagine, if you were in a really high traffic area, how much that would cost. And where this is, I mean, literally in 1 month's time, you're almost paying for an entire year of a billboard I'm sorry, excuse me, I said that backwards. With the billing for 1 month of a billboard, so literally $1,000, you could almost cover the cost of IConnect for close to a year. Right. So that in itself is huge. So I feel like I got like a Christmas lag going. I don't know what it is. I'm usually like a little like, I don't know what it is today, but wow.
Chris, the last couple of days.
Right. But it is a lot of fun though. It was a great time. Stephanie wrote something actually really, really impactful. It's great how it plants the seeds that the brand you have keeps you top of mind. The next time you look for a real estate agent or any business displayed, when you see the brand, you'll recognize it, and then you'll want to use that business. It's about as good as it gets when it comes to that, because that's what it is. You are planting a seed. I mean, that's really what you're doing.
It's like you said with your insurance agent. There's so much clutter in today's world in any industry, and that's from not just real estate. If you're a plumber or a painter, what have you, you go online and you're inundated with so many different choices. And what we're going to do is kind of cut through that. If they see 10 painters or plumbers when they go online to look for a local plumber or painter, but they recognize one, statistically, you're a lot more likely to go with that one. So the biggest thing we wanted to bring to the table was get that brand awareness. So that, just like you did with the billboard guy, you recognize his name. So I'm sure when you went online, there were, 10, 20, 100 choices that you could make. You're drawn to. It's even if you've never met him, which in your case you didn't. He was on a billboard. There's that credibility of, well, at least I recognize this name, more than the other ones. So it does draw you to making that decision.
So true. So for everyone that's watching, wanted to just make sure I flash this again so that everyone sees it. If you are, and Donnie, I believe it, even if someone's not local and they're watching, but they want to just make a small donation, can they also do that? Or how does that work with for Events for Cause and for the Prom Do-Over?
Sure, you can do it. You can go directly to the website, or on our link that you have provided. We do have a donation tag as well. So again, it's the Josette Bedell Memorial Foundation is their cause, which there is more information. If you click our ticket link, it does describe both the cause we're behind and has more information in regards to the event that we're hosting.
I love it. I'm putting in here a comment so that everyone can just see this here in the comments, but the Josette Bedell Memorial Foundation, I hope I spelled it right. There might be an E in there.
Want me to send it to you?
Yeah, you know what? That'd be good, and then that way I can make sure too that it's in there properly, so that everybody can become a part of it. Even if you're not in the area, it goes to support. I mean, a lot of people know someone or have had someone in their family who was affected by breast cancer, so all the proceeds get back to that. And if you are local and you are not going to this, you are missing out. So. And I'll never forget too, when I wanted to originally last year, before we decided on before we decided to even take part of this, I was told by my cousin, and of course I'm like, I don't want to go to another event, and I don't know if I want to do this, and I don't know if this is something I want to be, it's the winter time. I don't feel like, you know how you get in that mode in the winter. And then all of a sudden, I remember they're like, oh, we got you guys in. We got, we were able to figure out a way to get you in. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're going now. But it was the one of the most fun events I can like ever remember. I mean, it was a blast, and I mean, it was literally like being at a wedding, but almost like being at your own wedding, if that makes sense, because it's like your prom. So, but you're giving back to a good cause, and it's not like you're going there and it's like it's some distant family member you don't even know, and they invite you to a wedding, and you're like, oh man, how do I get out of this? Like, and that's a lot of times we think that when we go to these events, but it was nothing like that. It was one of the most fun events I was at in a long time. Stephanie had a blast, so much so that we decided to commit that time to be a part of the board and make sure that we were able to help give back and really help you get this thing out there full throttle. So Donnie, I mean, thank you for putting this on. Obviously, an amazing cause, an amazing event. And for everyone that has not seen it, I'm just going to go ahead and flash I'll put that is the link. So feel free to go on there, get some information, watch the video. And yeah, I mean, as far as everything else goes, guys, kind of taking a step back, one last thing I wanted to ask before we kind of shut things down here. And I was actually talking to a family member about this yesterday. What is the worst Christmas gift you've ever been given? Because I've had a couple that were really horrific, but I'm gonna give one that I think is hilarious. But Kristen, go ahead, you start. What is the worst Christmas gift you have ever been given?
Say that I have to think about that, but because honestly, my birthday is New Year's Eve, so it's kind of my Christmas gifts and birthday gifts can mingle sometimes. Okay, I think I have to say I got married when I was really young. I've been married twice, so this wasn't my second ex-husband, it's my first one. I was like 21 years old, and for Christmas he bought me a mop and bucket and like cleaning products. Honestly, he did. He bought me cleaning products for Christmas. So that that was sort of a red flag. I was like, oh dear Lord. Yeah, honestly. And like some like maybe a jacket or something, which was nice, but like you don't buy that for Christmas. I was just oh yeah. Yeah. So he was fired. I don't even know shortly after that.
Yeah. I would imagine. I mean, so a mop and bucket for Christmas. This is from an ex-spouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like I was like 21 years old. Yeah. Wow. No, my most recent ex-husband would never dream of doing that. No. God, no. But the first one
I mean,
yeah.
Well, and it's funny because they had that thing, I don't remember, it's the Peloton bike, I believe, where they had that huge controversial thing about, giving that as a gift. And I'm like, well, what if somebody really wants to stay in good shape? I mean, it's not like you're telling them, hey, you're not in good shape, here's the bike. I don't know. It's just.
I think it was the fact that she said she went through some big physical transformation and she was like gorgeous to start and gorgeous at the end. There was no like, her losing puffiness and moving along. She just looked smoking hot from the start. So you're like, okay, come on now. That's the thing about the Peloton ad, there was like no progression. She looked exactly the same. I mean, I'm just saying.
That makes sense.
You'd want to show that she was trying to get back in shape, and she was hot at the end, not during the whole time,
Right. Sorry. Savannah asked, no, it's all right. It's perfect. I mean, Savannah asked, did you leave him before New Year's Eve, right? You left him before New Year's Eve.
Honestly, it was like shortly after. It was like March. I had served him divorce papers. Yeah, it was close. It was really close. I knew. I was like, oh my God, because that's what people did in 1954. I don't know. It was like I don't know. He was so old fashioned about everything. Yeah, it was crazy. It was.
Yeah. I get it. I think so for me, the worst gift I've ever gotten. Now, I mean, yours wins. I thought that I would have won, but I guess not. So far, so we haven't heard Don's yet either. But the worst one that I've gotten was a shoe shining kit. And I mean, mind you, I'm going to tell you how old I was. Now, if I was like 50, 60, I mean, heck, I would even say 30s. I'd be like, okay, cool, shoe shining kit. I wear dress shoes. That's great. I was like 7 years old. I mean, like, what? Like, why did I get a shoe shining kit? I mean,
That's more like get a
and
job, kid.
yeah, I mean, it was, and it was literally like one of those, like, only like a couple time use kits. And then there was like a shoehorn in there, and I didn't even know what it was. And yeah, I was like, this is a strange gift to give to a, 6-year-old kid, but all right. I mean, I guess it was one of those things where you have to find something. I mean, we've all been in those places where you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to give this person a gift, or you go find something in your closet and then you're like, all right, put something together real quick. I mean, that is the only thing I can think of that happened in that situation. But yeah, I thought my shoe shine kit would have won, but I mean, I still think the mop and bucket for Christmas, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to top. All right, Donnie, what about you? What is one of the worst Christmas gifts you've ever received?
Well, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure I got a shoe shine kit when I was around 8, 9, or 10 in that area too. But I want to use mine. I actually got one of the very best presents I've ever gotten, so I wanted to kind of showcase it. My nieces and nephews got me. I'm a big poker player, so they got me this engraved poker set. So I'll give them a quick shout out. It has their names.
That's awesome.
Well, but it says "Best Uncle Ever" with their names on there. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. So just wanted to kind of highlight that.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, the thing is that I definitely cannot thank you enough, Donnie, for first and foremost jumping on here, but also for putting this event together, because I know it's a ton of work. I mean, I remember the first time that I went to one of them, I'm like, man, this is great. I get to be on the committee, and I get to, we get to be on the committee, and we get to take part of this great cause. But what'd you say?
And then it's, what did I sign up for with everything that goes?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I do want to. I want to thank Mary Bedell, the founder of the Bedell Foundation. She's given me a lot of guidance in kind of putting this together, so I wasn't all over the place. I do want to have give a huge thank you to our board. They constantly go above and beyond. It's a lot of work getting the gift baskets, the donations, the decorations, and just keeping it all organized. And then my other co-founder, Blair Weber, give her a shout out too. I want to say it's pretty much every single day I'm getting a text or an email or something. Hey, let's make sure we get this done as well. So she's diligent. She stays on it. So it's a combination of a lot of people coming together to pull an event off of this magnitude.
Yeah, and Stephanie wrote a lot of work, but it is very rewarding, and it is. I mean, and you know what the great thing is too is I feel like we were able to almost expand into an entire new circle of friends, because I didn't know any of you guys. And I mean, it was funny because it allowed us to get to know you guys, get to be a part of not only the group, but also get to be a part of, really, like, it's like a big family. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And it's great to be able to give back, especially when you can still go out, you still have fun, but you also are raising proceeds for an amazing event. So I'm going to show the link here just once more, just in case you guys didn't see it. Definitely take a screenshot, copy it. We'll put it in the comments as well. But I will tell you that this event in itself, I mean, single-handedly, this was probably one of the most fun events that I went to last year. I mean, and I went to some pretty cool things last year, but that was one of the best ways to get the year kicked off. And it was a blast. We raised an amazing amount of money. We gave to a great local charity. And even if you're not local, guys, but you know somebody that's been affected by breast cancer, or you've had it yourself, or you have a family member that's dealt with it, we all have been affected by it in some way. So if there is, on that link, if you want to give anything, even I mean, Don, would you say even down to a couple of dollars? I mean, it all goes towards a great cause.
Correct. Yeah, it all helps. It all goes to a great place. So any kind of donation is appreciated. But those of you that can make it, I look forward to seeing you guys all there.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Don, did you have anything you wanted to leave everybody with closing off? I know we went through iConnect, we went through events for a cause, we went through the worst Christmas gift, but you showed us the best one that you had. So, which is good. But I mean, anything else you have before signing off that you want to share with everybody?
Kristen, it was a pleasure meeting you, Matt. I always appreciate talking with you as well. And I appreciate you letting me get exposure to this cause.
Perfect. Well, guys, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. If most of you guys are probably just getting out of the Christmas the Christmas craze and you're starting to get back into things. So if you tuned in today and you were watching, thank you so much. And if you can give to this cause, that's amazing. But even just letting people know about it is another amazing thing. Maybe you can't give to it, but you know somebody else who can. We greatly appreciate any contribution or proceed, whether it's monetary or whether it's just giving some time. We're very thankful and appreciative. So Don, Kristen, thank you guys for jumping on, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Business Insights, where we're going to have Marie on for the last one. So we're going to have Marie Gincola on. So exciting. So good, a lot of good stuff. So Don, thank you. Kristen, thank you. And guys, we will see you on the next one.
Take care, guys.
Everybody.
All right.